Welcome back to Coaching Under Quarantine, part about 30.
Well, this video is going to be like mildly controversial because we're going to be dealing with, or we're going to be talking about how the Philippines, or is the Philippines exploited by people, i.e. foreign vloggers mainly. What do you think? Because I have strong opinions on this, by the way.
Yeah, but of course it is. At the end of the day, it's something that we feel very strongly about because we kind of feel like part of the family over there. So it's almost like it's happening to
It's like a personal
own,
thing.
yeah.
And it really grates me, right? So, like, we've had quite a lot of comments. Some of them have been recent, some of them have been like from a little while ago.
They're not. I don't think there's that many actually. I think we've actually done very well to kind of convince people of who we are quite quickly. But we definitely have had some
bashing comments where people are saying, you know, we're only doing it for the views, and like I completely understand where they get that idea from, because there is a lot of vloggers. Probably around like 80% of vloggers in the Philippines especially are only in it for the views, right? And that can like taint the whole YouTube community, if you like, where people just question whether you're genuine or not, or whether you're clickbaiting or doing it for views
the money,
and stuff.
For the subscribers,
yeah,
for the free stays, for the free like cars, for the free holidays, for the free whatever you can get.
Like, there's been quite a few times when people have been bashing us, right? And they've said, oh, you're only doing it for the views. And then like some of our subscribers, they've actually argued and said, actually, these guys are not the guys that are actually interested about views. And that's really nice, like, to read and stuff. But I mean, just to clarify, we don't work, or we're not interested in anything to do with views, because the way that we travel, we made like a conscious decision to go off the beaten path, right? And obviously going off the beaten path, it's hard for those videos to get searched because no one really knows about them places. They're not popular, right? So
basically, it's impossible. It's kind of contradicting to think that we make our videos for the views, when if you look at our videos, they're actually a very, like, we get comments all the time, literally almost every video, saying you guys deserve more views. Because if you look on our channel and just scroll down the views, we don't get that many views, and it's because people can't find our videos because we go to the places that don't get searched. So if we were here for the views, we'd go to the really obvious places that everyone goes to, because they know that if they go there, they're going to get the views. So it's very contradicting to assume that that's what we're here for. But because we're foreign, we're kind of tainted with that, oh, they're foreigners, they're here for this, they're here for that kind of view. And trust me, it is not most people that think like that. It really isn't. We have the best little subscriber family that you can and I feel like we've all kind of, we ask your opinion on things because we care about what you think about our channel, because we do feel like part of the community, not the YouTube community, because we're not really that bothered about like YouTube, as in
we don't really
like,
fit in with the YouTube community, really.
As in creators, we definitely do not fit in at all. But when it comes to like the subscriber community, like the actual Filipino community, we kind of feel like we belong, and it's the nicest, most humbling feeling that you could ever accidentally come across. And so we understand why people would look at us and think, oh, they're the same as everybody else.
But it's like,
well, no.
It's like a lot of foreigners, like vloggers, they've actually brung this on themselves, because when people start off YouTube, they start with all the best intentions, but as they grow, their whole idea and their views change. And I don't know, it's really like a strange one, because the most vloggers are probably not as into, I don't believe for a minute that they're into the Philippines as much as they make out.
Few exceptions, guys.
There's a few exceptions.
There are some exceptions. Want to get that across right now. There are some vloggers, and I have my very own favourite vlogger that I watch who is based in the Philippines, who is not Filipino, but I just think he is one of the most amazing people, and we didn't actually know about him, and I'll tell you his name in a minute, until pretty recently. And what he does and what we do is the same. We travel a bit more because he's got other commitments, but when it comes to like helping the local community and being a part of the community and getting involved in the community spirit and what you actually should go into another country for, which is actually learning about the culture, he absolutely does that. And when the first video I watched was actually when I was looking for people who were also donating to TAL, and he's a prime example of people who are not exploiting the country. Yes, he makes videos on his good deeds that he does, but he does that because I'm assuming the money that he earns from it, maybe that goes back in, but it just shows people that... I watched a video of his recently where he said, I make my videos because it shows you that no matter how big or small your gesture is, doing something kind can change somebody's day or life. And that's exactly what we try and do. And he doesn't exploit anyone or anything. And I just think like there should be more people like that on YouTube, because you have this platform that's so powerful. And instead of using it for your own personal gain, why not use it to teach, educate, help these people around you, no matter where you are in the world, and use it for something good? And my favourite Philippines-based vlogger is the Hungry Syrian Wanderer. It's quite a mouthful to say. Because of what he doesn't exploit the country. So there are a few exceptions. Not everybody exploits. That's not what we're saying. But there definitely are a high number of people who absolutely take the mick.
And the longer like we've been coming to the Philippines, you know, like Filipinos are very what's the word?
Patriotic.
Very patriotic, right? And if you was to walk onto a beach and say, "Oh, I don't really like this beach," you will get bashed to death. But I've become like that, where I'll see people, like I'll see vloggers doing stuff that I don't agree with at all, and I just want to bash them. I want to bash them, like, and just say, what is that? Like, you can't.
There are certain vloggers that you can't mention the name of in front of Chris because he just gets angry.
It makes my blood boil, right? Because I know that they're not genuine. And it really annoys me and really gets me mad, because Filipino nature, it's like they're very trustworthy people, Filipinos, and they'll trust you until the end,
prove otherwise. Whereas in the West, we work the opposite. You will in the Philippines, you go there and instantly you're a brother. Like, yes, brother, that is. But in England, it's, hang on a minute, I don't know you. You've got to earn my trust, and it's the opposite way round. And what we kind of notice, and unfortunately we see happen a lot, is that people come over, see that trust and think, and they take advantage of it. And they take advantage of it in the most, I think, what's the word?
Unethical.
Yeah, that's not the word, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, it like they take advantage of it in the worst way, because they pretend to be something that they're not. And
this is a problem on YouTube, though. This is like, and the longer that we've been doing the whole YouTube thing, it becomes like even more visible, to a point now where I can watch people's vlogs and I can tell instantly whether they're full of shit or they're being serious, right? Because there's no question we are deadly serious about the Philippines. Like, the first couple of years you can say, oh, maybe them vloggers are like the same as every other vloggers, you know, they come here for the views, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you could say that against us before. But then to come back and then invest in a property in the Philippines, to have like a long-term commitment that we'll be paying for the next like 10 years, I think that takes beyond any doubt or any bad
assumption.
Yeah, any assumptions that people might have had about us, because we are deadly serious about it, right?
I mean, you don't buy a house for a couple of views on YouTube. Do you
Yeah,
know what
like,
I mean?
So
And
the
if
whole
you did,
it's just very toxic, like the whole YouTube thing. Because even though I laugh when we get comments saying that we do it for the views, right? And a lot of you guys that have been with us for quite a while know that that's just not the case, because we go off the beaten path where if you want to grow with big views, that's not the place to do it. You better go to like Siargao or Coron, Boracay, El Nido, and all those sorts of touristy places. But we make conscious effort every single day not to go to like those touristy areas, right? So it's just, I don't personally trust a lot of YouTubers, right? And that's so mad to say, because we're actually doing YouTube as well.
we actually thought when we started doing YouTube that we would become friends with a lot of YouTubers, and the longer we do YouTube for, the more we want to avoid YouTubers, because it's easy, and I can absolutely see why people go down the path that they go down. It's very easy to kind of forget where you started when you get excited about the growth of your channel, and it's very easy to see how people end up on that road. But at the same time, it's something that when you make a decision to commit yourself to something that you can influence people on, and you have such a big voice, you may only have 11,000, or we might only have like 14,000 subscribers, and some people think that's a massive amount, some people will think that that's quite small, but your videos can reach well more than just the people who have subscribed to you. So when you have the ability to have a voice, you should be using that to do something really positive with. And unfortunately, people lose sight of that, and their message gets in this horrible blurred place where they kind of don't know where they came from anymore, what their plan is. All they know is, I want to have more. I want more subscribers, more views, more money, and I don't care what I've got to do to get it, where I've got to go, who I've got to exploit, but I'll do it in the nicest possible way so that you don't think I'm a bad person. So because of that, we just avoid YouTubers completely, because it's hard to explain when you don't do YouTube, because people develop a character almost for their channel when they see that actually the more views I get, the more money I'll get, and the more money I get, then the less I have to pay for. And so this character develops that everybody who watches falls in love with, but actually when you meet them in person, that's not the person you thought you were going to meet. And that's happened to us, hasn't it? And it's hard. It's not a nice pill to swallow.
It's very like common, and these YouTubers are giving people like bad names, and a lot of Filipinos have left comments saying like, you know, saying, "Are you in it for the views?" And they're actually right. Like, that's the worst part. The most YouTube, like, well, the majority of them are only in it for the views, right? And I think we just had to address that, because I feel like a defender of the Philippines, to be honest.
He should come into the country wearing like a shield carrying a
should.
sword with the like Filipino flag
Just be
hanging
slaying
from
pure vloggers where vlogger blood everywhere. Like, no, but it's really like...
It's hard to... When you receive a comment like that, we do laugh it off because it's funny to us that people would make that assumption. And when they do make that assumption, we know instantly you guys haven't watched any of our videos, if that's your opinion. We bicker, make fun of each other, like we put our fail videos up when we've gone somewhere and it's not turned out great. We don't really like, I don't believe that we clickbait. What our video title is exactly what our video is about. We've had a lot of comments from people suggesting, oh, try and do a bit more clickbait, you'll get more views. And we don't, because we're not looking for the views, we're looking for a community of people who watch our videos, who can come together with us. And if we're in your area, let us know and we'll come and have a day out with you. And like, if we're stuck somewhere and we need advice, we know that, oh, remember that person who commented is from here, they'll help us. If we're like, we're looking for a community, we're not looking for fans, we're not looking for like to be famous or any of that kind of mindset that comes with most people who do YouTube.
I think that's what they like though. I think vloggers start off with the best intentions in the world and then they get a little bit more popular and it all changes and they start enjoying the fame and the money and the free this and the free that and like,
let's be honest though, like who doesn't love something for free? Like we all like a little freebie now and again. Like John's Fish Balls gave me like 10 sticks for like the price of 8 and I was having a great time, do you know what I mean? We all love something for free, but there's a difference between accepting something for free as a gift and exploiting it to the point where you're trying to sell something to a group of people who clearly can't afford what you're trying to sell, when actually you're not trying to sell it, you're just saying that you'll put it on your channel for the exposure of the company, knowing full well that your target audience can't get what you're selling. So for example, let's say like our target audience is you. You're normal people like us, you go to work, you've got your job, you earn your money, you save it if you can, but generally your money goes on day-to-day living. We don't stay in some big fancy hotel because we can't afford to do that. And we're assuming by being normal people like us, you also cannot afford to do that. So it would make no sense at all for us to go and stay in some magnificent castle-like hotel with 14 beds and 3 bathrooms just for the 2 of us, because when we're promoting that on our channel, our target audience, which is you guys, that's unobtainable.
it's almost
because
like
it's unobtainable for us, but the only reason we'd be staying there is because it's free. So that's what I mean. You kind of,
it's almost like it's like showing off in a way. A lot of these vloggers that have really blown by doing like reaction videos and stuff, they've like, it's like showing off where, look at me in my nice hotel sort of thing. And I don't agree with it. I don't think it's ethical. I don't think it's right that you come from a Western country, which is considered a wealthy country, and then you go to a developing country and
sit there in your big fancy dressing gowns in your big fancy room
like,
with your like room
about?
service and be like, oh yes, we're normal like everybody else. Like, no, that's not normal. We can't afford to do that because we're also normal people. And I'm telling you now, the people who do that, you would not see them doing it in England because they can't afford to do it. They're doing it because they're getting it for free. So it's this it causes a lot of, do you know what, I'll go as far as saying like it actually causes a lot of people to have like mental health issues, because you're watching and thinking, oh, I admire these people, I want to be like them. You watch them start off really normal, and then it gets to the point where you were like them at one point and now they've like become something that you feel like you can't achieve. And by not being able to achieve it, you compare yourself. You end up having like an issue with what you have around you, and oh my god, I'm not good enough. And how can you value your viewers if you're prepared to, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, how can you value the people who watch your videos
when there's nothing relatable? There's nothing relatable
if you're prepared to do that and have you guys see that, knowing that, well, that's not obtainable for me, but trust that it's not obtainable for them either. And that's what I have an issue with. I have an issue with this, like,
it's like a
Instagram
culture.
life.
Yeah, that's
and
what
this
it is.
like, so the Instagram life, when everyone says don't compare yourself to people on Instagram because it's not real life, it's the same on YouTube. So probably about 90% of what you watch on YouTube, it's not real, because the places and the cars and the hotels and the, like, all of that you're watching, it's not real. It's free because they're saying they're gonna, you know, give you guys a promo code to use with their name in, knowing full well that you're probably not going to use it because it's a stupid extortionate amount that we can't afford, that they can't afford, that you can't afford, but they know that if they say that they'll do it, they'll get it for free.
It's just like, one thing I want to pledge with this channel, because, you know, we try and stay as ethical. Well, we won't deviate from that. We've set our goals. Nothing's ever going to change, no matter how big or small we grow. We're still going to live how we live in the Philippines. We're still going to travel how we travel in the Philippines, because we're just normal. And normal people live normal lives, right? Like, we're not special. So I just wanted to say that although most of the YouTube world are idiots, this channel is never going to change from how it is now. Because we've grown
we'll
bit.
Definitely include a bit more food vlogging in there, and a bit more lifestyle vlogging when we get our house set up. But other than that, I think you mean like morally and ethically.
Morally,
we are who we are.
Morally, yeah.
And to be able to do the channel the way we do, the biggest, most important rule that we set for ourselves was to stay true to what we wanted to do with it and who we are. And I just think that rule is a across the board rule with everything that you want to do in your life. If you want to do it well and you want to do it authentically, then you have to be true to who you are. So that is definitely something that is never going to change. Our theme song, you might not have heard it for a while because we kind of put it on the travel videos rather than the dailies, but the line in it is the simple things in life, and that was chosen for a reason, and it's been our theme song from the beginning of our channel, from day one. Watch our first video. Well, don't, it's terrible. But it's been there since day one, and I think that says a lot about our mindset in 2016 and our mindset in 2020. Nothing's changed. We're just a bit more passionate about it now, and we kind of like feel like we have to protect it a little bit more. And
yeah, like, you know, I just wanted to like pledge and just say that nothing's ever going to change from our perspective. We're going to work in England, earn the money, come to the Philippines and spend it. That's how it should be. That's how we believe every vlogger from the West should be. None of this exploiting. I don't like it. I mean, you don't need to think too hard about certain situations that have happened over the last few years. Like some taxi drivers at Manila airport, when people have got them like, now we all know what Manila airport's like, right? We all know what the taxi drivers are like. It's nothing new. I mean, even tricycle drivers do it. Like, to all foreigners, you're gonna get overcharged a little bit, right? It's not right.
Even foreign Filipinos.
Even
Filipinos within Philippines have been exploited by transport drivers because we've seen it. It's just,
we've seen it.
If you have an opportunity, they're gonna take it.
Now, this is an example of the sort of things that we've been talking about, right? So you got the Manila taxi drivers trying to earn a little bit of extra money. It happens. Like, we've been coming to the Philippines for like 4 or 5 years. Like, that happens in every country that we've been. It happens in Thailand.
Happens in London, by the way.
It happens everywhere. All across the world, right? Now, there was this instance where there was a foreign vlogger who reported it and made a big song and dance about it. We say song and dance. It means like a big commotion about it. And then the taxi driver ended up losing his job. Now, if that was here, you'd be like, oh, the taxi driver deserved it. That's what happens. But in the Philippines, you've got to think differently because it's not the same. So that taxi driver could have been overcharging a little because maybe someone in his family was in hospital and you've got to pay for your healthcare. So there could be 1,000 other reasons why he was doing what he was doing. So...
And no, we're not saying that people should also exploit foreigners, because it's one of the things that honestly we find really frustrating. Is
it happens to us as well. We're not like immune from it.
It is frustrating. Like sometimes I'll have a moan about it in one of the videos on the day if somebody tries to overcharge us and we know the price. But there's a difference between kind of confronting the person personally and saying, look,
why are you overcharging
I know you're overcharging.
Yeah.
Don't take the mick. And as soon as we say that we know the price, as soon as we walk away, they'll come back and go, okay, sorry, yeah, you were right. Do you want to do it for that price? 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, like, you know, it's just, it doesn't need to be a situation. And on this one occasion, the vlogger made a video and it went viral and the guy lost his job, which he's probably the only one earning money in his family, probably. So, you know, how's his family going to eat? How are they going to survive? You don't know what his circumstances were. And as a foreigner, you don't need to do that.
It's not your duty to... It's almost like they're playing God in that situation to say, do you know what? It's really difficult because we know this is going to be a very controversial topic because people are going to say he should never have exploited them. No, he shouldn't. But at the same time, there's you can either make an excuse for your behaviour or you can explain your behaviour. And I believe that had somebody have spoken to this person, there was probably an explanation for the overcharge. But as a foreigner coming to another country, you do not have the right to play God as to whether somebody has a job or not. And unfortunately, I believe that...
And they put it on YouTube.
I'm literally hesitant to say it, that it was... This wasn't the first incident that happened. It had been made public knowledge that this was happening from Manila Airport a little time sooner. And I just, there's been a couple of YouTubers since that have kind of taken advantage of that opportunity because the first one went viral and they knew that if they were to do the same thing, they would have probably gone viral themselves. You know, like Philippines are very kind of grateful for vloggers for showcasing the country, and I understand that the reason they don't want YouTubers to be kind of taken advantage of by businesses and people who are working is because if they make one negative remark on a video, it can impact people coming over to the country and visiting, and I think that's the fear. But what I fear more is that people from another country will come in and see that, oh, if I say that this person has overcharged me by 100 peso, then I have a lot of control over whether they have the job or not. And there's a big complaint culture in the UK.
Like, and to be honest, like, that's not ethical, right? Because, you know, these people are from the West where, you know, you can earn a decent living, you can, you know, work, money, like, you don't
walk out of a job, walk into another one the next day. Like,
and then you're coming, and that's the sort of thing where YouTube can create egos, because these people have like egos. How dare you overcharge me? Yeah, well, how dare you But if we go to Spain, like our local holiday from England is like Spain, Italy, they overcharge you as well. So it's not like it's a new thing. It's not like it's, oh my God, I'm being overcharged. But no, it happens everywhere.
But not you don't even have to go to Spain or Italy for that to happen. Chris has got a shop outside his house over the road, and that guy overcharges us on a daily basis on things that we know that is not the price. But because you're asking for a service from him, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, he has the right to say, this is the price of what I'm selling to you, and if you don't like it, go to another shop. So they had the opportunity to get out of that car and get in another car, or give him the money that they agreed on in the first instance, and then argue about the rest of it later. If they were stuck in the car when he put the price up, they could have said, yeah, that's fine, we'll pay it, and then when the car pulls up, you give him what you agreed on, and then you leave because the car stopped and you know that you're at your destination. There's many different ways
it's just unnecessary.
These situations can be handled, and it's
the lengths that people go to to create attention. That's what I don't like about YouTube, and they give people a bad name because that is not what we're about at all. I've lost count on how many times tricycle drivers have tried to rip us off. It happens. Like we've been in the Philippines like 4 or 5 years. It's nothing new. So, you know, I think YouTube can be very toxic. And
it can. It's definitely something that we thought when we started, we'll definitely have a lot of YouTube friends, and then when we by this point now we're like, no, we definitely don't want any YouTube friends, and we've probably, how many YouTube friends that we actually count as actual friends that we've got? It's probably one off the top of my head. I'm not going to say the name just in case I've missed some people out, but it's not kind of what you expect it to be. And I just think the message here is to take every one that you watch with a pinch of salt, because I know personally of at least 2 channels off the top of my head that we have spoken to, that isn't evidenced on this channel because we don't really collaborate, that have openly told us to our face that they do come to the Philippines to build their channel up, and then once their channel is over 100, then they're gonna leave and go off and see the rest of the world, but they come back to the Philippines just to grow it and pretend on their channel that it's the best place in the world. And to us, it is.
It is.
But to other people, they know that the support is there, and that's what they come for. So that's off the top of my head, that's 2 channels that are well known, and that's what they do. So it's something that, you know, we're very aware happens. We completely understand your judgment when you pass it on our channel, but one thing I'd ask is, at least watch 2 or 3 videos of somebody before you judge them, because you never know kind of what somebody's moral stance on something is until you get to know them a little bit more personally. And if you wouldn't say it to their face, then maybe it's not the best idea to bash them straight away. But I understand why people do as well, and we get some great comments, don't we? Some really supportive,
you guys
amazing
actually start
comments.
fighting the bashers, which is nice.
Yeah, we do. We've got some brilliant comments, and people say all the time, you deserve more views, you deserve more subscribers, you guys are so genuine, we can see it, your relationship is really like, you know, you make us smile, and it's nice to read them comments and receive them comments. And it just makes it easier to deal with the horrible ones when we get them. I've resorted to just arguing back now, to be honest with you. I just get a bit bored and I'm like, right, okay, it's on.
But we just wanted to like have that little chat because of how we ended the video yesterday, and we wanted to just like have a little talk about that. But as long as you guys know, like, we are how we've been since day one, and nothing's ever going to change no matter how big or small we get. We're always going to stay exactly how we are now. Living locally,
supporting locally,
yeah,
loving locally. Like, you know, our intentions are all 100%.
We're Filipino at heart at the end of the day.
I think if you cut us in half, you'd probably see the flag, to be honest with you.
So yeah, that was today's vlog, and you know, I'd like to hear what your comments on this matter is. The only bad side is, I'm sorry, but we're never really gonna do many collaborations unless we see Hungry Syrian Wanderer anywhere, or Kyle Jennerman or something.
Yeah, there's some like few people that we watch and we're like, do you know what? They are so real, and Like, I'd love to meet them type of people, but I'm not also like looking for a collaboration. If we met them, great stuff. But collaborations are for growth, and unless it's genuine, like when Loz's Leisure was, we were all together and we met up and we just had a great time together, and our channels just kind of, you know, crossed over because it was real, then we'll do it. But we won't go out of our way to organise a collaboration, because if we've misjudged a situation and collaborate with someone that actually isn't on the same kind of wave as us, then we kind of don't want that association. So unless it happens naturally,
it's not going to happen.
Unfortunately, it's not going to happen.
So we will catch you guys in the next vlog. Make sure you leave a comment so that we can get your...
Do you think that we're right in what we're saying? Do you agree with what we're saying? Is it not as obvious to you guys as viewers?
I'd like to know.
Yeah, me too.
So we'll catch you in tomorrow's vlog, guys, and yeah.
Just know that we do love you, very much so. And we will see you again soon. Stay safe, be nice to each other. We'll see you soon.
And bash the haters. Paalam.